Okay, so we should be recording now. Yeah, I've got my little red dot bleeping away. So welcome to Wellbeing Wednesdays. I'm Rachel Devereux, and we're joined today with Sharron Stott. And this should be presented. So we are having weekly wellbeing sessions with guest speakers on one of the 4 subjects. So we've got health and wellbeing, we've got parenting, we've got pets and hobbies, and we've got business. And these 4 areas sort of really tie into my wellbeing. If anyone has any pets, you know that they intuitively know how to read you. Pets can be very, very calming, but pets can also enable exercise. So if you've got dogs or horses, you have to go out with your dogs and your horses. Simply being a pet owner can be very, very therapeutic as well. And then we've got hobbies. Hobbies are different for every person, and I don't think that there's one way into having a sense of well-being, but most hobbies can get people to that zen space, that calm, and it is different for every person. So I might get frustrated with knitting but love colouring in. You might really, really enjoy running and hate netball. So hobbies can be different for every person, and I don't think there's one right avenue to well-being. So we're covering a range of hobbies. And then this week is business. So business week is about running your own business. It's about businesses that are well-being business. It's about empowering yourself. There's loads of really great speakers coming up on the business side, and I'm so excited to have Sharron because I've really wanted to experience her business. So she's only down the road from me, and I've been eyeing up her studios. As it's been getting done up, and I want to know more about it. So I'm so excited that she's joining us this evening. I have a life, so my slots are either at 12:30 or 8:30. So if you're wanting to come along, you can pick the one that's right for you. Ground rules for anyone in attendance: any rude behaviour and you're removed. Please mute unless you're speaking. That's goes without saying nowadays. I think most people have got these Zoom rules down to a fine art. The information that is shared by myself or the business owners is their own information, and it is shared here for personal use, for you to get to know the person, to know the business, and to know, like, and trust them. It is theirs. If you like what they are saying, then please get in touch with them, thank them for this session, buy them a coffee, buy their products, let them know that you've watched. It's so important to tell people that you've seen this. It makes it worth our while, and we do actually do a happy dance when people get in touch and say that we've touched their heart, we've told them something that has made them feel special, we've changed their life. It means so much to us. Sometimes it means more than money, but we are still business owners that are trying to survive in a pandemic. I am just starting out a new parent sanctuary, and I have a buy me a coffee link. So that link is there on the screen. And this is my little pause, because who am I? I'm a lot of things to a lot of people. I'm a mum of 4. I've got baby twins that are only 10 months old. I'm a nurse. I'm a transformational coach. I am a My Mental Health Rocks facilitator. I teach parents how to wear babies in slings, which helps with crying and colic and being able to get things done and actually survive parenting small children. I help people transition their homes to being chemical free, and I am now a founding member of Parent Sanctuary and do nature walks for Wellbeing. So we are going to breathe, and this is because we often forget to breathe properly. We spend our days in this tension with our shoulders up by our ears. We spend our time unconsciously going through the day without thinking about what our body needs. So this is your moment to pause and have a little bit of a meditate in a moment. And we're just going to breathe in slowly and fully fill our lungs. And we're going to imagine the air coming all the way into your lungs, all the way to the bottom, and then breathe it out slowly. We want you to help have a fight, freeze response, and know that if you can just pause when you feel that tension building, that you can switch it, you can feel relaxed, you can feel calm, you can feel at peace, and it is your choice. So take that moment when everything's building just to take a deep breath and ask, is this real? Is this something I need to react to? How do I want to react? And then move forward in your day. Having 4 children under 6, they're now 4 under 7, I've really had to find my calm, and I've found my calm by recognizing that tension and practicing this, just a single deep breath before I react, practicing it so that it is second nature. I don't only use this when I'm feeling the tension rising. I use it when I'm enjoying the moment as well, because this is my switch for my fight, freeze moment. And every cell in your body thanks you for having those deep breaths. Every cell of your body can work properly when it's nourished with oxygen. So it's not just about calming down, it's about breathing. And there's lots of people who will tell you to breathe in for 7 or do a square breath. But for me, that complicates things. I need to just remember to breathe in slowly and breathe out slowly. And it's how I managed to birth my children. Oh, it's playing again. I want to move on to the next. How do I get it to move on to the next slide? So this week's speaker, we've got Sharron from the Flow Studio. Sharron is very active on Instagram, and she's got some super content. I've really enjoyed everything that I've seen of hers, and she keeps, now that I'm interacting with her content, it's coming up in my feed more often, and I'm loving it. It's so nice to have a local business and have that connection. So if I move on to stop sharing, we can make Sharron our key person to watch. If you want to tell us a little bit about your studio and what's happened over the last 15 months.
Yeah, hi, nice to meet you anyway, Rachel. It's been lovely to hear that, actually, because you said a lot of things that resonate with me. In fact, with breath, I think it is so important to take that moment in your day. I've got 3 children, not as young as yours, so I do relate to how that feels when you've got those little ones. And yeah, it is so important just to take that time out, especially at the moment, because we're sort of locked up in this situation where we're not really getting out and seeing lots of different people to talk to. So sometimes it's a little bit isolated and internalized what we're going through. So just, yeah, to take that focus and really take those moments of pause and just reevaluate where you're at in your mind. So I love that. Brilliant. So I opened the Flow Studio back in December 2019, and it's a massage therapy place and also Pilates studio. And I really great visions of what I wanted to do there. I have a lot of interest in different types of needs with people. I definitely am interested in starting pre and postnatal Pilates, because for me, even though I had children quite a long time ago now, it was fundamental for me, Pilates, to get through that transition of, growing babies and then giving birth and then the aftermath, and just to support your body through something that is gentle on it but restorative, and also builds strength in areas that we know we all need. Be it pelvic floor, be it like just releasing that shoulder tension, regaining strength in the abdominals, also so important. So that's definitely an area I'm interested in going down. I've got a few people who are already asking about that. Obviously, with the pandemic, I've not been able to really explore all these different avenues that I'm interested in doing with Pilates. So we've kept it quite general whilst we've been able to be open. It's been just kind of beginners Pilates with a focus sometimes on back care, because I'm a kind of back care specialist as well, having suffered with my own problems with back problems and injuries, which is how I came to Pilates in the first place. That's another story. And yeah, and also being a massage therapist, I specialise in sports and remedial massage, so dealing with lots of injuries and recovery from injury, and also people, it's not just for sports people really, but yeah, I do deal with quite a lot of sports people training for marathons, although that seems to have switched over the pandemic. It's not been so much people with training for marathons anymore. It's people stuck at a desk struggling with shoulder problems. That's been a really big focus whilst we've been open, and actually the massage has been really, really popular when we have been able to be open. So there's definitely a need out there, and I'm really confident actually and excited for when we open up. I've had my moments where I felt this is, a bit stop start, and mentally that's been really quite challenging. But on the whole, I feel like I've remained quite positive about what we can deliver when we get out of this pandemic, because I just think there's so many needs out there to be addressed. I'm excited for people to come along and try out Pilates if they've never tried it before, for people to be able to continue, and also because of the various needs that are evolving because of the pandemic. I really feel like it's a business that is going to be very much in demand. So it's all, good and exciting for me as a business owner. I am excited about it.
So if you tell me a little bit about your background, so you've got 3 older children, and before you chose to open the Flow Studio, what was your life like before the studio?
Yeah, so I originally trained in Pilates about 20 or so years ago. We've moved around quite a lot actually as well, and I trained in massage therapy about 20 or so years ago. But what happened when I had my 3 young children, because we were moving around quite a lot, my husband's in the Air Force, I found it really difficult to keep up with working. So I've had a bit of a break, and then got back into teaching Pilates again. I actually retrained, I did the whole thing again because I just felt like time had passed and there would be so much more information out there that may have changed. Actually, I don't think a lot of it had changed in the end, really, but it was really good, gave me confidence to be able to retrain and feel like I was really grounded in the knowledge that I needed. And I've continued with my education with the massage therapy, because there's so much you can do and so much you can learn with regard to the human body. It's an amazing thing. So yeah, that during my actual, going back before I was a Pilates teacher, my original interest and education was actually, I did an art degree, so that's like way back. and from that, actually, I did develop repetitive strain injury and back problems, so that's how I ended up training as a Pilates teacher, because I just tried Pilates and it worked a treat and loved it. So I thought, well, it's no brainer. I can do this. I love it. I absolutely adore teaching it to people. I love teaching movement. For me, it's not so much about turning bums and tums. I'm not into that, although it could be, a nice side thing that, side benefit. But I'm much more interested in getting people to move in a way that they begin to understand their bodies and really feel what it feels like to move with ease and glide and just feel restored, to be able to go on and do the things that they love to do. Perhaps that might be running. It might be a lot of people just come to me because they want to walk more. It's not always because they've got these great athletic ambitions, yeah. Or even I've had some people that just want to be able to climb up the stairs because their hips hurting so much. And so I'm really interested in the rehabilitation side of things, but also for people of all levels, I'd say. Yeah, does that answer the question?
Yeah, it does. I was just thinking with baby wearing, a lot of people can't understand how I can carry twins, or they can't understand how I could carry a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old. They couldn't understand how I'd got I think it was about 32 kilograms at the last count when I wore both of my older children. Like, how do you do that? And it's through that strength training and like daily increase in weight limit, but also being mindful of my core, because I wouldn't be able to pick up my eldest child now. He's 20 kilograms. So I wouldn't be able to pick him up unless I knew how to engage my core. I could really hurt myself by lifting without understanding how tensions work in my body. And one of the things that I remember when I was really active, like before I decided to have 4 children in not very much time, 4 children in 5 years, I used to go to the gym a lot. I'm one of these people that has a Yorkshire mindset. So I was paying gym membership. I was going nearly every night because then it made it cheaper. And we'd get, the groups I'd go to would be predominantly women. And then we'd get the odd man come in, and you could see that they came in thinking, oh, this will be easy. And actually, like yoga and Pilates, when you concentrate on them, they're standing still exercises and they're not high impact, but it takes a lot of strength to do the exercises. I want to say correctly. I might be choosing the wrong word there, but yeah, to be mindful and slow in your movements, it takes a lot of body strength to do that.
Yeah, I think what the real aim is, the focus with Pilates, I do yoga, but I'm not an expert on yoga, so I can talk about Pilates, is that it's actually, it's a lot about why you're doing a movement, and it's not so much about how well you can do it or how precise you've nailed it, but you always want to progress, you always want to get to a certain point. But often with the exercises that I teach, I will always explain this is why we're doing it. We're trying to get hip mobility here. We're trying to strengthen our pelvic floor in this exercise. We're trying to increase our range in our shoulders when we do this exercise. So there's always a reason why we're doing something that's always beneficial for you in everyday life, functional, everyday things, whether that's reaching high up for a tin of beans on the shelf, whether that's walking up the stairs, or whether that's because you're training to be a runner and you want to be able to have glide in your hips, you want to have strength in your core to carry babies. Yeah, so there's all manner of reasons why we do Pilates, and that's what I love about it. It's just all for good focus, and it's not, I mean, and also it's just about feeling better mindfully as well. It's so I've personally found it brilliant throughout this pandemic. Just teaching the classes has been an absolute saviour for me, because I'm not sure that I would have had the motivation to have just done the exercise Pilates, just practiced it by myself. So I've been able to join lots of other people as they've been teaching classes, and also me teaching classes to other people. Every time I've taught, without question, I've felt so lifted afterwards. And it's not because we've kind of, been doing a lot of energetic stuff. Sometimes it's just like we're just chilling and we're keeping it really low speed. We might just be doing a lot of things just lying down on the floor, but every time I felt so lifted in my mood and much more focused to be able to deal with the challenges that we've all got in our day at the moment. Just children at home and husbands working from home. Not not always easy.
So with a business point of view, you've had to really be the you're the marketer, you're the instructor, you're the building management, you the accountant, you're everything. You're doing all of the advertising, you're putting together videos for your Instagram to show people how to do self-massage for pressure points. You're coming up with all of this content, and you've had to pivot your business every time the advice changes, and you are a new business as well. So how do you find that that charge to keep going? How do you find that?
I think there has been a lot, like you say, like different directions I had to take, a lot of pivoting, that's for sure. And I think I just feel like I'm quite blessed really in where the situation that I'm in, because I've been able to keep going. My husband still works, and yeah, there have been times when I've certainly felt like I could lose the premises and lose the business. I haven't yet, because thankfully I've been provided with the government grants. I've not been entitled to all the new business self-employed sort of thing, but the government grants have definitely helped. But as far as changing direction each time we're in lockdown, we're out of lockdown, people want to do classes on Zoom, but then there are other people that prefer to do it in the studio. Having to kind of just change that the whole time has been quite mind-blowing, but I've just literally just taken it a day at a time. That's really the only thing I can do. And like everybody else, I just feel like I've got my health and I've got a home, and I just literally take it a day at a time. I've got visions. I get excited about what I want to do when we open up again, but on the whole, I literally just get up, think, what am I doing today, and focus on that. And what's been a really good experience actually is that I've wanted to plan right at the beginning when I opened up my business. I wanted to take it in a certain direction, and I had objectives financially, certainly, about where I would want to be at a certain time. But all of that's just been blown out the window. I can't manage any of that. I have no control over any of it. So just keep going, and yeah, just a day at a time, and what will be will be. It's completely out of my control, really, which in some ways is quite refreshing, because if things, you know, do fall apart, it's nothing that I have done wrong. It's all to do with the pandemic, and there's so many people that I know and in this situation as well. It's been really helpful to talk to other business owners, knowing that they've also got their own struggles, and be able to have empathy with those people as well, and just discuss how they're managing and their own concerns and worries, to know that other people are feeling that. Yeah, it's just we're in that community, we're in that together, and that's the way it is, really. You know, thankfully nobody close to me has you know, been suffering with COVID, or worse still, died, and I've got a lot to be thankful for. So it's just gratitude, I think, as well, every day. Managing.
So yes, we don't have yesterday. That one's been and gone. We don't have tomorrow, because we don't know what's going to come. And the only thing that we do have is today. And that's one of the things that I help people to come back to a lot. So I love that synergy there, because it is that remembering that, yes, we've got plans, yes, it'd be nice if, but we can't be happy when, we can only be happy now. And that's one of the key things that really sort of changed my life, was in thinking that actually I won't be happy when I do this, or when I've done that. I can be happy now, and it is my choice. Yeah, I love that that's what's getting you through this, because you're not a big studio either, are you? And a lot of Pilates studios think, or gyms think, big rooms, lots of people, one instructor, but you take a different approach.
Yeah, so that's a majorly important focus for me, because my own experience going to a Pilates class originally was that it was a really small group Pilates, and having an injury was really important, because I wanted to know that I was being looked after, and that everything that I was doing for a reason, for my own good, for my body. So it was important that I had that attention from the teacher. And I've been to bigger classes, and whilst they may be right for some people, perhaps if you don't have an injury, feeling fairly fit, and you get a lot out of those, I'm not kind of putting those down, but for me it's all about, I want small groups. I want to get to know my clients. I want to get to know their bodies, what they really need, what they're trying to recover from, if they are trying to recover from, what their goals are. And so we can really work on that basis. I've just started to set out a program, which is a 12-week program. It can be less, but I think 12 weeks you get good results, and that's working much more on a bespoke basis with individuals as well. So because I've got a lot to give and a lot of knowledge, and sometimes to even do that in a small class, it's difficult to do it, really get deep into what I really want to cover. So yeah, I've just started to coach now. I've got a few clients, and that's been, you know, really exciting for me, that I can now hold those people for a set period of time, where we've got that contact in the week, they're held accountable, so they're not just kind of dipping in and out. And we've got very specific goals that we want to achieve, and yeah, that's been really good. Something I've been wanting to do actually for a long time.
So yeah, that makes really good sort of long-term business sense as well, to and personal sense as well. But from a business point of view, you know that your next 12 weeks with that person, you are making that impact, and you are going to get a better testimonial for a 12-week course than you are from I went to a class. So it's that longevity. I worked with this person for 12 weeks and this is my results.
Yeah.
Is a better testimonial for a business to use. And also from a money coming in, you know that that's 3 months where this cost is covered, because it's not cheap setting up a business, it's not cheap having a premises, it's not cheap advertising, and it's not cheap doing the level of study that we do to be able to help people, and knowing that you are being remunerated for your skill and your expertise and your time. It's so good, isn't it? It's not only the happy dance, it's the food on the table, it's the fact that the business is still going, and to have that on a regular basis, from a business point of view, is the subscription model. And I think it's a lot easier for me to subscribe to something than to dip in and out, because if I've subscribed to something as a personal cost to me, I'm going to make use of it. It's yeah, if I don't use it, it's expensive.
Yeah, definitely. I think that is so true, that if you've invested in something financially, then you're more driven to get the most out of it. It just makes sense that way. And whilst, like you said right at the beginning, we're doing a happy dance when we get our clients, or if people have made a difference to people's lives, and it's not always the money that brings that joy, but yeah, business is like, I need to keep the premises on. It's a beautiful place, and everyone who comes there just says, wow, it's so lovely here, and it's got really good vibes. And yeah, I think, like, with regard to health practitioners, people in health and well-being, we tend to underestimate the services that we provide. And I think because we do that, we sometimes can give off vibes to our clients that maybe that they shouldn't be paying for our services like you would pay for the services of to see an osteopath or a physiotherapist. I think health is health, and we're offering a service that is so beneficial to people and their lifestyle. You could have an electrician come in and they could rewire your house over a few days, but that's had no impact on the longevity of your health. So where do you value the money that you pay? People wouldn't probably question paying an electrician X amount of money per hour to have their house rewired, but some people may just come to that point, but I'm not really sure I really want to pay that money for my health. But why not? Because it's so vital for your everyday living, for not just for you feeling better inside, but what can you give then to other people? How can you serve your family and community from that, rather than living with the struggles that you're living with every day and thinking, well, it's just like, I'm not really sure I want to pay that money for my health because I'm not really sure it's going to work. You've got to give it a go. And yeah, just holding people accountable as well, because otherwise, like, it's just like, I've just given it a go for a week and it didn't change anything. Well, why would you expect it to change? You have to be consistent at these things. And I think that's why the 12 weeks really teaches people that longevity, the consistency becomes a habit. They become accountable, they're held accountable, and it gets into their minds that then they can discover, and now I can see the benefits. So now we're winning, and now we see this is really worth it. It's been the best money that I could have spent.
I know that I walked Hadrian's Wall at 18 and I really loved it, and I enjoyed walking and I wanted to get into more walks, and I've still got the 3 peaks on my list of things to do. I prioritized work and feeling knackered and not shift work. I found it really quite difficult to get into a routine of doing exercise around shift work, because I never know that I could go to a class every Thursday, so I wouldn't get that sense of routine, and I needed that sense of routine in order to go. So if I knew I could go every Thursday, I would have booked up and I would have gone on these classes, or I would have gone to these sessions. But I ended up prioritizing work and got to a point where I felt unhealthy, and it was consistently taking unhealthy choices. And it's not until you consistently take healthy choices that you realize what health feels like. And you don't have to be healthy 100% of the time. You don't have to choose a salad when you'd rather have a pizza. You don't have to deny yourself, but when you consistently are taking healthy actions, you want the salad, you enjoy the flavors, you enjoy the variety, the colors, the way it makes your body feel, and you actively make those choices. It's not a punishment to have the salad. It's not because you're denying yourself the pie. It's because you are in tune with your own body and those foods are appealing. So it's the consistency, and I probably level out on around 80% healthy, and that's over a week. So you could follow me around for a whole day and see what I eat and think, oh my god, like she just eats junk. But if you followed me around for a whole week, you'd see me not sitting down because I'm running around after the children. You'd see me drinking more water. You'd see me not eating crisps. You'd see me munching on apples. But you know, if you just followed me around for one day, it might be the day that I just want to sit and eat chocolate all day, and I'll hide in the cupboard and snaffle the biscuits while the children aren't watching.
Yeah, I definitely get that. I have those moments for sure. I'm not this kind of like health guru that just just drinks green health smoothies and just eats vegetables, and I definitely have my weaknesses when it comes to sweet sugary foods. And yeah, it is just getting that balance as well. Gotta get real sometimes, and we have to make those healthy choices, but also eat the foods that we also find just gives a little bit of downtime, a little bit of perhaps comfort, and just not overdo it, I guess.
Brilliant. Well, if anyone's got any questions, please do put them in the comments, because this is going to get uploaded to YouTube, and Sharron and myself will be sharing it across all the social medias. I'm doing these talks every Wednesday, like I say, either at 12:30 or 8:30, because I don't want to work every every Wednesday. So I'm just going to come back to sharing my screen again. I know, awesome. It's okay. So one of the ways that I'm able to follow my passions and subsidize my help that I give people is through ENJO, which is 100% carbon neutral cleaning system, and it is a one-of-a-kind pore deep system that doesn't use chemicals to clean. It's not using chemicals to lift dirt, and it's not simply surface cleaning. It is getting pore deep and removing 6 times more things from the surfaces. It's a healthier way to clean. It is, we do pay up front, but it lasts for 3 years, so it is actually more cost effective to clean with ENJO than it is to clean with anything else. It's easier and it is better for our planet. We have makeup remover pads that are £16 and last for 3 years. If you think about how much people spend on makeup remover, that's phenomenally cheap. But I would always recommend, if you're going to look into cleaning, then to buy a zone, so that you're not trying a little bit of something and still using chemicals in other areas. The bathroom kit is £79, and that's 3 years to clean your bathroom. We do have other ways of buying as well, so it's definitely worth getting in touch with me and seeing which is the right method for you. Is it having a Zoom with your friends, having a night to relax, learn something new and get some discounts, or do you just want to have a conversation with me and get what's right for you? We do offer a business in a box, so you could join the team and share ENJO with your friends and make your own income. It might be a stopgap, because I know there's been a lot of redundancies. There's a lot of people who are finding it hard to find a job at the moment. So for £99 you could join the team and be able to work from home with a laptop, share ENJO and get more people knowing about this way to clean. It has helped me with my eczema, it's helped my clients with their asthma, it's helped my older clientele with their arthritis, and empowered them to be able to clean their own homes. Children can clean because you're not worried about them breathing in harsh chemicals or getting it on their skin. And if you've got pets, then they're not putting their sensitive paws all over a floor that you've cleaned with chemicals. So it's better for the whole family health. And your bathroom taps actually last longer because they're not getting degraded by some of the harsh chemicals. Hope you've enjoyed watching today. If you've got any comments or questions, then please do get in touch. I had hoped that my boys would be asleep, but they set their own schedule and I have to work around them. So sorry about the little bits of moans, but I think you can see I have been attending to them. And I look forward to hearing from you.